Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM, WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the LeaderMan's horrific appearing sidekick. And that's significant because, Steve,
you're ugly.
Wake up.
Don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you once again at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link. If you're on your mobile device, YouTube will get you there. Put Mornings with the LeaderMan into the search LeaderMan, all one word. If you're on your mobile device looking for our audio stream only to save some bandwidth, well, you can get it with your TuneIn or iTunes apps. Many other platforms will play us with WEEB into your search, or you can always get it 24/7 off of our website in the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages where the icon says Listen Live. Tap that once and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area, well, it's just plain dangerously hot out there. You got to keep that in mind. I had a friend of mine that walks with me every day, and his dog has a black mix lab boxer mix dog. And she got out of the car, and we thought she slipped on the curb because she went down, but then she got back up and went across the parking lot over to a tree and sat in the shade. I'm thinking that she was hot. He picked her up and took her to the edge of the pond, and quickly she went into the water and was swimming around and staying under a shade bush and wouldn't come out. And so he got his car and brought it around, and we picked her up and put her in the car, took her to the vet, and turned out she was having a heat stroke while swimming in the water because the water was kind of lukewarm, so it wasn't having a cooling effect on her. And so you can get heat stroke while in the water.
Yeah, although in that case it wasn't the water was helping, but she was already in distress.
Yeah, and so they gave her IV fluids and got her cooled down, and she'll be okay. But the point of the whole story is you got to be careful because this sneaks up on you, and
it really does.
Can grab hold of you before you know you're in trouble.
And I may have said before, I had an ER doc tell me that at some point in the metabolic process of heating up, it takes over and it can't be reversed. So you can even submerge someone in an ice pool, and that metabolic process will still go and kill their nerve and muscle cells, and that's the end.
Yeah. And it can happen to the elderly pretty quick. Can happen to your pets. So your pets outside might have shade and all that, but still can be stressed by the heat. So, and they might have water, but the water is going to be whatever the temperature is outside.
Yeah, and you can't force them to drink, even though that's what they need to do.
Right. So in this kind of weather, if at all possible, you need to find them a cool place to take on the day with.
Particularly part dachshund. The Germans just aren't used to the heat.
Yeah. So anyway, keep your pets in mind.
That's a little joke.
Yeah, well, we were talking something serious. I didn't go there. Make sure they got shade. That's required. But by golly, it's time, if you got a pet, you got to treat it right and get it out of the weather. It's just too hot. Just like sometimes it's just too cold. And you can't leave them out all night. All right, it is 7:33 past the hour, and if you got elderly friends, especially if they don't have AC, be sure to check on them. They might be inside and everything, but still, it works on you. Having had heat stroke several times, I know the feeling. All of a sudden, you just become lightheaded, and down you go. And it's not much fun. In fact, it's pretty scary. First time I had it, I didn't even know what heat stroke was. I was 14 at the time, playing golf, walking that course, didn't care, just wanted to play golf. And started feeling lightheaded, had to lie down for a few minutes in the shade. Got up and finished the course, even though I didn't feel good. But that's because I was a man.
No, you were 14.
I know, but I'm going to let my contemporaries I was playing with know that, you know, little heap was going to whip me out.
Ah, I see. By man, you mean idiot.
I didn't know what heat stroke was. I didn't know. I had no clue what was going on.
Right.
I just felt a little dizzy, and I didn't know it was related to the heat.
Right. Yeah, it's
because we
definitely
didn't
one of
talk
those
about
things
it.
you have to be educated about because it just doesn't come naturally.
All right.
If you eat a little poisonous berry or something, you're going to puke, and you're going to learn that comes naturally.
All right, 7:35, 35 past the hour. Let's see here. Let's work these sound bites off. I'm not too overburdened with them today. Too many idiots out there. I can cull through the idiot bites, and it knocks it down pretty quick. All right, time for Starbucks to move over. The world's strongest coffee is about to get even stronger.
New from the makers of Death Wish Coffee, the world's strongest coffee comes Super Duper Overachiever, Heart-Stopping, Power-Pumping, Get the hell out of my way, Death Wish Coffee. Now with over 500 milligrams of caffeine in every ounce. 1 cup of this stuff and you'll be spitting fire, racing, running, jumping, slamming, cramming, screaming, running around like a chicken on acid with his head cut off. Super Duper Overachiever, Heart-Stopping, Power-Pumping, Get the hell out of my way, Death Wish Coffee. Drink a cup today and we'll see you next month if you're still alive.
That was funny.
Well, for coffee drinkers, I guess you all can appreciate that. Me, I drink 1 Red Bull in the morning, 1 at lunch.
Yeah, I'm drinking Kona coffee. I'm Buy American. You keep buying Austrian if you want.
And by the way, the normal size Red Bull has less caffeine in it than 1 cup of coffee. All this week we've been giving you cornhole terms. We've given you 6 of them so far. Didn't know there were so many terms. Makes this game complicated all of a sudden. Thought you just counted the bean bags going through the hole, but obviously not. These are real cornhole terms. And first one up in the lingo is short bag.
Summer is cornhole season. Here's your cornhole term of the day. Short bag. When a bag lands on the ground just before the cornhole board. And that's your cornhole term of the day.
And then you have shucker. Do you know what a shucker is?
Shucker is when the beans start falling out of the bag.
Let's find out.
Summer is cornhole season. Here's your cornhole term of the day. Shucker. When a player pitches a bag and it strikes an opposing player's bag, knocking it off the board. And that's your cornhole term of the day.
All you want to do is just play with this girl. With that sexy voice. Yeah, I don't care whether I win or lose, just won't play. And, of course, we all know summer is here in a big, big way, right? Yeah.
Happy summer.
It started at 6-something this morning. See if they gave me a time. No, they didn't. I know it was like 6:21 or something like that. It was pretty awful.
Summer officially is about to kick in.
Dude, we are so gonna party!
It's going to be one of the best summers we've ever had.
Over and over again, catching summer fever, summer fever, summer fever.
Why not go back in time to that summer of love in the 60s that everyone's always talking about? Summer is here.
Here with the live report is a midget wearing a bikini.
Party on, dudes!
Can I get an amen?
We're going to the beach. You coming?
I
kind of dried up seahorse.
It's a great excuse to fire up the grill to chow down.
Over and over again, catching summer fever. Summer fever. Summer fever.
It is summertime, and it's time to barbecue and grill and grab a beer. Oh, that's a great idea.
All right, well, from our good news category this morning, a 4-year-old boy in Brooklyn, or should I say Brooklyn, lost his favorite stuffed animal while the family was driving in Rhode Island. So he wrote the Rhode Island State Police and asked them for help in finding it. The police couldn't find it, but they did replace it and sent back a new toy with a personalized letter. The boy's name is Will Ketcher's mother is Stephanie, and State Trooper Lawrence Favre are all three in this clip.
This was a first for us, and we take every case serious, whether if it's a crime scene or a letter from Will.
That instantaneous reaction of, I told you not to do that, I knew he was going to fly out the window. Let's write to the Rhode Island State Police to try to get Roger back. The letter was, never designed to be effective.
Hello, Will. On behalf of the Rhode Island State Police, we are so sorry that Roger was lost. We had to make him a cheetah trooper, the very first cheetah trooper in the history of the Rhode Island State Police.
Random acts of kindness are so sadly rare. It's so refreshing to have something like this happen that just reminds you that there are really good people out there, and when you're not looking, there are always wonderful humans who are just ready to do right by someone, a pure stranger.
We just wanted to find him one and make him feel happy.
Thank you for giving me Rosie.
Okay.
That's nice.
Well, they really do know what happened to the stuffed animal. First, it was used by a homeless mule who smuggled drugs in it. And then when it got a little too ragged to keep the drugs inside, they used it as a needle holder where they would take their syringes and stuff it in there, and the needles were parked there until the addict needed them again.
And they couldn't get all the needles out, so they decided not to send it to him.
That's right. Welcome to New Jersey.
Was it New Jersey or Rhode Island?
It was. Welcome to Rhode Island. Are they a sanctuary state?
I don't know.
Joe Calderon claims to have
Has our Attorney General done anything about our sanctuary cities here? No, of course not. He supports it. He just sent a letter to the president denouncing his activities. And
what about a governor?
Same thing with the governor.
Yeah.
Didn't he just withdraw a trooper or something? A National Guardsman?
There's no telling. I mean, he's our governor. God bless him. I declare he's a cross between Mr. Rogers and the Joker. Because whenever he talks to you like you're a preschooler. Very slowly so that you can understand every single word.
Yeah, a little Forrest Gumpish.
Just drives me nuts. But a restaurant in New York just landed the Guinness World Record for the most expensive milkshake. It's $100. It has 23-karat edible gold foil. And, get this, ladies, donkey milk in there. Here are some of the ingredients that are in there.
Here we have our Jersey cream, and these are from cows originally bred in the Channel Island, and this breed is popular for the high butterfat content. We have Devonshire clotted cream. It's made from heating milk at a slow pace till all the golden cream rises. Next we have our Madagascar vanilla. The plants from this vanilla bean take 3 years to mature. And here we have our Tahitian vanilla ice cream. It's made with Tahitian vanilla beans that are sun-cured. We're going to plate these with 23-karat edible gold to give the inside of the milkshake a little bling to match the outside. Cremose baldizzone, which is donkey caramel sauce. It's a very rare sauce made with Venezuelan cocoa, Piedmont hazelnuts, fresh donkey milk, and cane sugar. We have a Luxardo maraschino cherry. These are produced in Luxardo, Italy, and they're dense and chewy, sweet tart flavored, and they're soaked in the fruit's famed liquor, the Marasca liquor.
Well, they sent over a piece, some of this ice cream. Let me taste it for you.
Let me try that.
You can try some too. I want my money back, man. It's got goat milk in it, not donkey milk.
Tastes like. Can you tell the difference?
Yes, I'm a connoisseur. Don't you know?
It tastes like mica, not gold. I think they cheated us.
Boy, I want my $100 back. Another person tasted it. We taped their response to it. We had to do a little bleeping, but anyway.
Damn, it's a pretty good milkshake. Told you.
There you go. Oh. From our stupid news category.
That wasn't it?
Huh?
That qualified.
From our
$100 for a damn milkshake.
Yeah. This is a woman on Facebook, and please don't try this at home. After you hear it, you won't want to. A woman on Facebook posted a video of herself drinking dog urine right from the tap. She took her dog next to a tree, filled up a plastic cup, and drained it. Yes, it looks just as bad as it sounds. She says it had some kind of magic superfood powers in there, apparently. This is from you, Facebook here.
Until I first drank my dog's pee, I was depressed, I was sad, and I had really bad acne. Dog pee also has vitamin A in it, it has vitamin E in it, and it has 10 grams of calcium. And it's also proven to help cure cancer. And that is why I look so much better than y'all.
So it cures acne and cancer.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yes, it does. Of course it does.
Too bad it doesn't cure stupidity. A burglar in Houston slithered across the floor of a smoke shop so he wouldn't set off the motion detector. And it worked. He got away with more than $1,000 in cash and merchandise. But the security cameras got a direct shot of his face, so maybe there's hope in catching him. Here's that bit of stupid news.
I've never seen anybody crawl, on video like that to evade our security that we have set up. I was shocked, actually. He was obviously trying to get everything he possibly can.
I guess they had it set not to detect snakes.
Yeah, I would imagine he's not going to be able to repeat that one.
Or they just had it set so anything below a certain height doesn't get counted. So a mouse running across the floor wouldn't set it off.
Keep that setting. Just add a dog.
Let's see. Paul McCartney came out with 2 new songs yesterday, and they're from his next album, Egypt Station, which is due out in September. One is called Come On to Me. And, of course, we have a preview for you.
I swear I caught a look before you turn away. Now I don't see the point resisting your temptation. Did you come on to me? Will I come on to you? If you come on to me, will I come on to you?
Yeah, you'll have to be the judge.
That's pretty good, and by good, I mean really lousy.
I was going to say, did it pass the Matt long-hair hippie-type music?
Awful.
All right, here's
Look, you got enough money, man, and you've contributed enough art. It's time to
Don't go out on a bad note.
How old is he? 76?
I have no idea.
We just did that. He just had a birthday. It's time to hang it up, my friend.
Here's his other song. It's called I Don't Know.
Where am I going wrong? I don't know.
Sounds like the other one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's alright. Sleep tight. I will take the strain. You'll find love of mine. You will feel no pain.
By the other one, you mean David Bowie?
No.
Kind of sound like David Bowie.
But Come On to Me.
Nah, it didn't sound like that to me, but that one was better. Not great, but passable.
Let's see, anything else we got? Late Night Snoop Boys. Oh, by the way, you remember that picture that the left has been holding up of the two kids lying in a cage?
Yes. From the Obama era.
And how abhorrent it is, and how dare you endorse this? Yeah, it was taken in 2014 when, yes, your untouchable president, Barack Obama, was president. Didn't hear the outcry then, did we? Not a peep. But boy, now that Trump's in office, you can't hear enough. It just goes on and on. And he does something about it. And they're not happy enough with it.
Levin had an evisceration of that hypocrisy last night.
And 8 out of 10 of the kids with whomever they are with, they're not their legal guardian. They're not their parent. So the kids are being used either A, just to get the adult into the country, or B, because it puts them on a different path if they got the kid with them. Or B,
C.
Or B, they're a mule.
2 B's?
Or C, they're being sold into sex slavery to pay for someone else's entry, perhaps their real parents. They just don't value life the same as we do. And of course, some of us here value life totally differently. They jump up and down like Nancy Pelosi about separating a mother and a child, but then, of course, here's the money for all the Planned Parenthood to rip a baby out of a womb. She's all for that. All right, the late night Snoop Boys. I don't really feel like them. Do you?
Well, that depends on whether they're funny.
No. Condescending. Let's move on. Things we need to know so we don't sound stupid. The world's oldest orangutan living at the Perth Zoo in Australia has passed away at the age of 62. The son of Dallas Cowboy legend Eric Williams. He's been charged with not one but 2 murders. A new study says that CEOs average 9.7 hours a day and 62.5 hours a week on the job. What about weekends?
That'd be part of the week, I think.
And how many times has Gwyneth Paltrow been married and uncoupled? I can't keep count. But she's going to do it again. She's going to marry Hollywood producer Brad Falchuk at her New Hampton, at her New Hamptons estate at the end of the summer, probably Labor Day weekend. All is invited.
She been married a bunch?
I don't know. We know at least once.
At least once.
And she got uncoupled. The post office began selling the first scratch and sniff postage stamps yesterday. Matt was first in line.
That would be fun.
Sears is
I'd like the pistachio ice cream and the chocolate cake stamps, please.
Sears is experimenting with a store in New York where they're creating a Kmart section within the Sears store. A new Facebook photo tool fixes closed eyes in your pictures. Howard Bender, who was one of the last living Pearl Harbor survivors, has passed away at the age of 96.
Wow.
AMC Movie Theaters is starting up their own version of Movie Pass. For $19.95 a month, you can take in up to 3 movies a week. And let's see, there's a billboard up in Texas that says, "Liberals, please continue on I-40 until you have left our great state of Texas." Public outcry made them take it down. I'm a liberal, but you can't have free speech.
It's offensive.
I'm offended.
Take it down.
It says in the Constitution I have a right not to be offended. I'll have to go to my safe place.
It's a way to make a point. Put it up and be forced to take it down.
Yeah, I was watching an episode of Naked and Afraid, and this guy's, some girl's crashing on him, and he has to go to his safe place to be by himself.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. And I said, Mama's not with you out here in the bush, I can tell you that.
Got the whole damn island or desert or whatever it is you're in.
Paul Manafort's been placed in solitary confinement in a Virginia jail. I'm sure that's for his own safety. Apparently, a beer supply is running low at the World Cup in Moscow. Oh, gee. Can't get drugged out. First thing we reach for are drugs. Beer is a drug. Alcohol is a drug. The WWE legend Vader has died at the age of 63. Matt is crushed this morning. Complications from pneumonia.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite. Which sport was that?
All right, today's impossible question for 18% of the people. This is the first thing they do when they get home from work. What is it?
Pee.
I'll give you multiple choice. Go to the bathroom. Start dinner. Or grab that alcohol.
Start dinner.
You had it right. We go to the bathroom.
Oh, well.
Stick with your first choice there.
Yeah.
The average woman does this to her hair twice a year.
Changes it.
Give me credit. Color it. Peanut butter is the food that causes people to do what more than any other?
Let's keep this clean. Gain weight.
Choke.
Really?
The average age for a woman to have an affair is?
40.
45.
45.
So, whoever they are, find out their age.
Oh, thank you. Great advice.
According to the Great Male Survey, 60% of men are nostalgic for the days when this in business meant something.
A handshake.
That's right. 9 out of 10 women over the age of 30 will not do this outside.
Bathe.
Exercise. 30% of U.S. adults have sleepwalked how many times in their lives?
Thrice.
At least once. And a recent study says more attractive people do this.
Attract people.
Get more sleep.
because they're getting more sex.
Who knew? I could be attractive and get less sleep. 8 o'clock, here comes your news, sports, and weather.
Some unsettled weather again today. We're looking at the potential for some more thunderstorms. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds today with some late-day showers and thunderstorms possible. Some of those storms producing some gusty winds and a lot of lightning. Highs today will climb into the low 90s. A couple of storms overnight tonight with lows in the low 70s. Then partly sunny skies Friday with some scattered showers and thunderstorms and highs in the lower 90s. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
97.3 FM and 990 AM. WPB Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen. And on the web at talk973.com.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. When the roll is called later today in the House, it looks like neither of two Republican immigration bills will have enough votes to pass. Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines.
A pair of competing bills that both face an uphill battle. Each would put a permanent end to the separation of migrant families at the border. A conservative proposal includes deep cuts to both legal and illegal immigration and no chance of citizenship for dreamers. A more moderate proposal creates a possible path to citizenship and money for the border wall.
And President Trump, who's been urging Congress to pass immigration reform, has signed an executive order aimed at ending family separations along the southern border.
Responding to immense public pressure, the president reversed his administration's policy of separating immigrant children and parents who enter the country illegally.
We're going to have strong, very strong borders, but we're going to keep the families together. I didn't like the sight or the feeling of families being separated.
He says the zero-tolerance border policy remains in effect. The president's action came after he and administration officials repeatedly claimed that only Congress could fix the problem. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The wife of Israel's prime minister is under arrest. Sarah Netanyahu, charged with a series of crimes, including fraud and breach of trust. She's accused of misusing public funds by fraudulently ordering more than $100,000 worth of meals to the prime minister's official residence, while falsely claiming there were no cooks on the staff. Parts of western Pennsylvania and South Texas have something in common. Both regions dealing with severe flooding today, and for South Texas, forecasters say more rain is on the way. Emergency declarations have been issued for flood-ravaged areas of western Pennsylvania. On Wall Street, Dow futures down 62 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Interested in trading as a way to generate extra monthly income? Listen up. Before you sign up for some garbage program or awkward in-person seminar, you really need to hear about the online trader program that everyone's talking about. This is the program that allows you to get your account funded with someone else's money. That's right. Apiary Fund will gladly put up to $100,000 of their money into your trading account. And the best part, you get to keep 85% of the profits without putting in a dime of your own money. Apiary Fund and this program are growing like crazy. If you're looking for a way to generate extra income every month and finally learn how to win trades like the pros, just call 800-342-2968. Leave your email address on our voicemail and we will send you all the exciting details of how to trade Apiary Fund's money and not your own. Call 800-342-2968. And again, just leave your email on our voicemail to get your free report on how you can trade someone else's money. Call 800-342-2968. That's 800-342-2968.
South Korea's spy agency warns that forgers are trying to peddle outdated North Korean currency in China and Southeast Asia.
The South Korean intelligence agency warns that criminals are trying to sell large amounts of North Korean won on the premise that its value will jump once North Korea eliminates nuclear weapons and its economy develops. However, most of the notes being sold are useless. They haven't been in circulation. Trying to charge a South Korean entrepreneur almost $180,000 for a pile of outdated North Korean money.
That's a BBC's Celia Hatton. Australia's Prime Minister has achieved an important political win, with the Senate passing personal income tax cuts that are worth $106 billion over the period of a decade. News and analysis at townhall.com. Iran is out with a list of 15 demands for improving relations with the U.S.
The Tehran list appears to be in response to a similar set of demands made by Washington last month. In an article in a state-owned newspaper, Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif has called on the U.S. to stop providing arms to, in his words, the invaders of Yemen, referring to Saudi Arabia, and to drop its opposition to the nuclear disarmament of Israel. The articles come in response to demands laid out in May by Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who called then for a major change in Iran's military and regional policies, threatening the strongest sanctions in history if it refused. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
AT&T is launching a new streaming service incorporating TV networks from the Time Warner company it just purchased. The Watch TV service, cable-like package of more than 30 TV channels delivered over the internet. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The drug problems we have in Moore County is because of the dealers and the traffickers who are the end representatives of the cartels. And they've got to be our major focus. Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and I'm backing Steve Adams for sheriff. Wait until you hear this. For years, fentanyl-related overdoses in the U.S. never exceeded a few thousand. By September of 2017, they had accounted for more than 26,000 deaths. It's not the doctors and the pharmaceutical companies that are killing us. Chinese and Mexican and other nations' cartels are producing fentanyl-like compounds called analogs. That allows them to exploit discrepancies in the laws in the U.S. and China and other nations. And that product, along with the other stuff they produce, is what's killing Americans. And that's why it's paramount to concentrate our efforts on removing all dealers and traffickers from Moore County. Let them go somewhere else to peddle their murderous product. Steve Adams is the exact right man at the exact right time to lead this fight. He'll surround himself with the best chief deputy in the best department possible, then he'll take the fight to the street where it belongs. Steve knows that also means providing protection and education to our schools. Enough with the talk about a war on drugs. It's time to get serious. You'll be hearing a lot more about Steve's plan to combat this evil that's slowly working its way into our community. And again, it's just one more reason why I'm supporting Steve Adams for sheriff.
Find out about Steve's plan at adamsforsheriff.com. That's adamsforsheriff.com. Paid for by Adams for Sheriff.
Thank you for calling Carolina Air.
Someone told me you folks don't charge for a service call. I don't believe it.
It is true, ma'am. We get that reaction a lot.
That doesn't sound right. So everything is free?
Our service calls are free, but we do charge if you need parts or repair.
Wow. Most companies charge $100 just to come out.
At Carolina Air, we do not charge to come to your home. Nickel and diming customers is not in our handbook, so schedule your free appointment today at carolinaair.com or 910-684-3864.
Hi, this is Chef Karen at Philly and Colts. I'm so sorry you didn't get to the beach this weekend, but here's the next best thing. Friday Seafood Night is back at Philly and Colts. Come by for a fish sandwich or a full-blown plate of Calabash-style fresh seafood. Join us out on the patio. Relax. Enjoy a cocktail. Do I hear waves? Seagulls? Philly and Colts at Little River Golf and Resort, 692-4411.
Jared Kirk and Amy McBride of the First Casualty Insurance Group in Southern Pines talk about the benefits of being an FCIG customer.
Our agency has been in business since 1984. We are an independent agency, which means that we have numerous carriers. Having multiple carriers benefits our customers because it offers them more options for their coverage and price.
One of the most asked questions we get from our clients is how much do they need to insure their home for? Many clients think they should insure their home based on tax value or what they could sell their home for. Neither is correct.
Insurance carriers want to insure your home for the replacement value. Replacement value is what it would take to rebuild your home back to its current state in the event of a complete loss.
First Casualty Insurance Group of Southern Pines. Call them today at 910-692-8303 or find them on the web at fcignc.com.
NCN News. I'm Tony Rixby. President Trump signed an executive order to end the separation of immigrant families at the border as House GOP leaders work to get everyone on board to resolve immigration issues. CBS News correspondent David Begnaud says another problem is the government is not equipped to handle the large amount of children or reunite them with their parents.
The U.S. government tells CBS News it keeps track of children with a unique identifier called an alien number. Name, age, gender, and country of origin are also recorded. Ofelia de los Santos, an official at Catholic Charities in Brownsville, Texas, says the shelters she's visited are well run, but
it's not about how nice a facility is. It's the fact that they're not with their parents.
Inside the doors of Myers Park United Methodist Church in Charlotte last night, dozens prayed with the president and thousands of children separated from their families at the U.S. border. Lisa Castaneda tearfully telling WCNC,
I just can't imagine the horror that they're going through right now.
The churchgoers now sending letters pleading with local lawmakers to find compassion for those fleeing dangerous situations in their home countries. The organizer of a far-right rally last year in Charlottesville, Virginia that turned deadly, planning to hold a rally near the White House this year on the first anniversary of the event. We get more from Anne-Marie Green.
Jason Kessler helped coordinate the 2017 Unite the Right rally, where a protester was killed after being hit by a car driven by a self-identified Nazi. Kessler has received initial approval to hold a white civil rights rally across from the White House this year on August 12th.
A bill asking voters to decide in November whether photo ID should be part of the state constitution, getting its first formal debate today in the State House in Raleigh. It's one of several constitutional amendments being debated in the final days of the legislative session. You're listening to NCN News.
Who is the North Carolina High School Athletic Association?
We're dedicated educators, coaches, and mentors.
We are over 200,000 student athletes.
We are 413 member high schools from small towns and big cities, anywhere from Murphy to Manteo.
We're your neighbors and friends that put on the striped shirts and officiate the games you love every week.
We are making a difference in building leaders of communities and this nation for the next generation.
Who are we? We are high school. We are the NCHSAA.
School safety, prison safety, Gen X, incentives, teacher pay, taxes, spending. As state lawmakers tackle these and other issues, Carolina Journal is there, giving you the latest information. Available each month as a free newspaper. Every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
Orlando International Airport about to become the first in the country to require face scans of incoming and outgoing international passengers. Peter King is in Orlando.
8 U.S. airports already use face scanning technology for departing flights, but Orlando is the first to scan for incoming and outgoing passengers. Airport officials say the face scans will be compared to biometrics in the Homeland Security database, showing people who should be on a particular flight. U.S. citizens can opt out. Privacy advocates say they worry about errors within the system, especially with every outgoing and incoming passenger involved. Orlando handles about 6 million international passengers every year. Peter King.
Wilmington is a well-known tourist destination, but people may not know it's also a destination for human traffickers. Carrie Ramsey is the Community Partnership Coordinator at a safe place in Wilmington, telling WECT she's witnessed many human trafficking forms.
When they think of trafficking, they do think of like a girl in a handcuff somewhere. And what we see is that while human trafficking is very prevalent here, it's just under the surface.
It's happened every year for perhaps thousands of years. Larry Miller has the story from London.
Around 10,000 people gathered at the ancient but mysterious Stonehenge in southern England to celebrate the summer solstice sunrise. Among those greeting the start of the year's longest day at the 4,500-year-old stone circle, druids, pagans, and yoga practitioners. When the sun appeared, cheering and applause. The summer solstice is one of the rare occasions when the public has access to the stones. As a sign of today's times, armed police patrolled the event. Larry Miller, CBS News, London.
North Carolina coming home from the College World Series after being knocked out last night by Oregon State 11-6 with a comeback in the 8th inning. Tony Rixby, NCN News.
To the weather again today. We're looking at the potential for some more thunderstorms. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds today with some late-day showers and thunderstorms possible. Some of those storms producing some gusty winds and a lot of lightning. Highs today will climb into the low 90s. A couple of storms overnight tonight with lows in the low 70s. Then partly sunny skies Friday with some scattered showers and thunderstorms and highs in the lower 90s. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sand Hills, it's sunny, 78 degrees already, humidity 90%, dew point way up there at 75. Pressure's 2983. Winds calm. Visibility is at 10 statute miles. It's 8:13. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news right quick for your Thursday morning. More county commissioners capped off somewhat uneventful budget process with quick adoption of a fiscal year 2019 budget. The pilot reporting before voting Tuesday night, the board held a required public hearing that attracted only one speaker, and that was Superintendent Bob Grimacy, who came to offer the board's hearty endorsement of the budget. The commissioners ultimately approved the budget that included a $2 million increase in its allocation to the schools this year, and they took the unprecedented step of designating up to $1.7 million from its reserve next year for the school system to cover any impacts from the state budget. And North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper signed into law a Build NC Bond Act of 2018. That happened yesterday. The new financing tool will help expedite critical highway projects. The pilot reporting under the governor's direction, the North Carolina Department of Transportation has accelerated 350 highway projects and made room for an additional 144 projects in the current 2018 through 2027 transportation plan. Build NC gives NCDOT an added tool to expedite more infrastructure projects for quicker delivery. Build NC will only be used if NCDOT is unable to maintain its strong project delivery pace, which increases expenditures and decreases its cash balance. If that balance reaches a certain level, the department can ask the state treasurer to issue up to $300 million in bonds annually over the next 10 years to maintain project delivery at current levels. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. It is 8:17.
NCN Sports, I'm Chip Hamlin. For the fourth time in the last 4 off seasons, Dwight Howard is changing NBA teams. Howard signed with the Charlotte Hornets last summer, and then on Wednesday, the Hornets traded Howard to the Brooklyn Nets. In exchange, Charlotte will receive center Timothy Mozgov, 2 second-round draft picks, and cash. The Hornets will pick 45th overall tonight in the NBA draft, and they will also pick up Brooklyn's second-round pick in 2021. The NBA draft is coming up tonight, and it's expected that former Duke stars Marvin Bagley III and Wendell Carter will be selected in the top 10, and it's also expected that Grayson Allen will be picked in the first round. Moving on to college baseball, and another disappointing end to the season for the UNC baseball team. For the third time in the last 12 years, Oregon State defeats the Tar Heels and eliminates them from the College World Series. 11-6 the final last night from TD Ameritrade Park in Omaha, Nebraska. UNC erased an early 3-0 lead and led 6-3 going into the 8th inning. And then Oregon State scored 8 runs in their final 5 outs as the UNC bullpen melted down. 3 pitchers walked 4 batters, 1 intentionally, and allowed 3 hits. UNC wiped out that early deficit behind Brandon Riley's 2-run double off Luke Heimlich in the 3rd inning and took the lead in the 5th inning on a single by Ike Freeman. UNC ends the season 44-20, and that means college sports season is officially over in North Carolina for this year. It will pick up again exactly 10 weeks from today when Wake Forest plays Tulane in college football in New Orleans. You're listening to Sports from NCN.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement. Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know they're probably just a little bit nervous. You can find it in yourself to take that first step. You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can. You need to start pushing yourself.
Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up! Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need to get your GED diploma, we've got a pep talk that's right for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and find free GED classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education, brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The New York Yankees are now 2 games ahead of the Boston Red Sox in the American League East after the Yankees pulled off its 23rd comeback win this season. The Yankees trailed at home to Seattle 5-0 before Giancarlo Stanton hit a 2-run walk-off homer in the 9th, and the Yankees defeat Seattle 7-5. Meanwhile, Boston lost to Minnesota 4-1. Also in the American League, a day after its 12-game winning streak ended, Houston rebounded to defeat Tampa Bay 5-1. It was Texas edging Kansas City 3-2, and Cleveland clobbers the Chicago White Sox 12-0. Meanwhile, the National League, Philadelphia edged St. Louis 4-3. It was the Chicago Cubs shutting out the Los Angeles Dodgers 4-0. San Francisco edges Miami 6-5, and Colorado 10, the New York Mets 8. That's sports. I'm Jeff Hamlin on NCN.
It's hot, and you think, I'm turning the AC down a few degrees. Then you think, how much is that gonna cost? Then, the internal struggle begins. Cost versus comfort, but now you can end that fight. Mitsubishi Electric Cooling and Heating Systems offer efficient individual room control with allergen filtration, no ductwork, and dramatic energy savings. Mitsubishi Electric Cooling and Heating. Live better. Call Four Seasons Heating and Air, the company that wants you to get comfortable with them. 235-0606.
You look out the window. It's dark. You lock the doors. Maybe you set an alarm. You take every precaution. Do whatever it takes to keep your home safe. But it's not. In fact, termites may be destroying your home right now. You may not see them. You may not hear them. But by the time you see the damage termites cause, it may be too late. So don't wait, because now there is something new. Introducing Termidor, the unique treatment that wipes out 100% of the termites in your home in 3 months or less. They'll never see it coming. But you can't get it from any store. So ask for Termidor by name from your pest control company. Because if you're not asking for Termidor, you're asking for trouble.
Termidor is available at Aberdeen Exterminating. Call 944-2474. For service, that's 944-2474.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. I'd like to tell you a story, kind of funny actually, about something that happened in a restaurant in Pine Bluff. Not our Pine Bluff, relax skinny. This happened in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. It's the story of a kind of a heartless waitress and the way she treated one of her customers. The guy came in to eat, just like any other hungry person might do. He was a young guy, and there was no reason in the world for the 58-year-old waitress to not want to serve this man. We got to see a glimpse into her mind when the man tried to pay his bill with a perfectly good credit card. She, apparently figuring there's no way this guy should have had this card, called the police. That's the kind of a mindless action that divides this nation. Why would she think that he has less right to have a card than, say, her? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, it was her card. It had been stolen from her car a day or so before. The guy was trying to pay for his meal using a card he had stolen from her. She wouldn't allow it. Well, of course not, you might exclaim. Well, don't be too quick to get on your high horse. We have our money taken from us by our elected officials every day. And when they bring it back and purchase something for us, with our money, we thank them profusely, and then we re-elect them. I've decided we like it when politicians steal from us. We must. We keep electing the same ones. I hope you have a good day from the Zumwalt Zone.
Some unsettled weather again today. We're looking at the potential for some more thunderstorms. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds today with some late-day showers and thunderstorms possible. Some of those storms producing some gusty winds and a lot of lightning. Highs today will climb into the low 90s. A couple of storms overnight tonight with lows in the low 70s. Then partly sunny skies Friday with some scattered showers and thunderstorms and highs in the lower 90s. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmuth in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills number one morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up
bitches! I don't know how those two manage to be so perky in the morning.
I wake up early every morning.
You have terrible morning breath. Brush your teeth, get dressed, let's jam.
I have the feeling that you like me.
Wrong! I hate you!
I never thought I'd say this about a show, but this is kind of stupid.
So, what do you have to tell me? It's showtime.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Someday, yeah, we'll put it together and we'll get it undone. Someday, when your head is much lighter. Someday, yeah, we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday, when the world is much brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna be easier. Ooh, child, things will be brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna be easier. Ooh, child, things will be brighter. Someday, put it together and we'll get it undone. Someday, someday, we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday,
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the LeaderMan's superfluous sidekick. Good morning.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you once again at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link. If you're on your mobile device, your YouTube app will get you there. Just put Mornings with the LeaderMan in the search. LeaderMan, all one word. If you're just needing audio, well, we suggest the TuneIn, iTunes platforms work. Many others do too. Put WEEB in the search. And as always, our live audio stream available to you 24/7 at our website at talk973.com. Top right-hand corner of any of our web pages. This is where the icon that says Listen Live resides. Just tap that once and you're listening. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area, it's going to be, well, hot. So make sure the elderly and your pets are looked after. They get heat stroke too. And just because they're in the shade doesn't mean they're not suffering. Partly cloudy today, scattered thunderstorms. High of 93, heat index right around the 100-degree mark. So that means humid as all get out. So keep that in mind and just bring your pets in. They can't take this heat. Tonight, mostly cloudy, scattered thunderstorms, a little 74 tomorrow. More of the same, high of 90, heat index 95. And over the weekend, we got 93 for Saturday, 96 on Sunday. Still the heat index way up there. So remember those pets. Like I was telling folks last hour, a friend of mine that walks with me every day, his dog was swimming in the pond at the time and was suffering a heat stroke at the same time because the pond water just wasn't that cool. It was like bath water. So she couldn't cool down and ended up having to go to the vet, and luckily she survived, got an IV and got cooled back down. But they can start being distressed and having heat stroke and you not know it. And it might be too late before you do know it. So keep an eye on them, bring them in. It takes more than just shade sometimes. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are calm, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure is 2983. The dew point right now, a ridiculous 75. So that's very stressful on people and animals. Humidity 90%, it's sunny 78 degrees at Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 8:28 past the hour. Let's see. What did I want to do? All right, well, let's just go ahead and throw in our rim shots this morning, make everybody happy. We're loaded up for bear. So rim shots it is. I know what it was. No, we're going to skip it. All right, rim shots. Rachel Maddow has apologized for tearing up while discussing migrant children. Meanwhile, still no word on when she plans to apologize for brazenly stealing Ralph Macchio's haircut. So, the kid from Karate Kid. A Michael Jackson musical is coming to Broadway. It'll be like Hamilton, but instead of a African-American guy playing a white guy, it's the other way around in this case. John Travolta's new movie, Gotti, has a 0% rating for Rotten Tomatoes. And then we listened to critics. If we did listen to them, would Johnny Depp have a career? That would be the question. Garfield, the cat, is 40 years old. So in addition to Mondays, Garfield has also started hating loud music. Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson were spotted at a McDonald's drive-thru. They spent a ton of money because Tristan insisted on trying one of everything. Burger King has apologized for offering free Whoppers for life to Russian women impregnated by the World Cup players. How would you know? Everyone knows women are all about the chicken fries, aren't they? And Starbucks is closing 150 stores, and that's just in one shopping center. So we'll let you know about the rest. It does seem like every 40 feet you run into another Starbucks, doesn't it?
It's true. And yet there are more pot dealers in L.A. when it was just medicinal than all the Starbucks and McDonald's put together.
Who knew?
Now, I can't believe that was a corporate decision by Burger King. If it was, they need to fire their marketing CEO. All the asinine, crazy ideas. Are you going to participate in the show, or are we going to spend all time in your phone?
No, this is about the dog that had the heat stroke yesterday.
Yeah.
The owner just texted me and said, tough night, that she had a couple of seizures, threw up, some unsteady behavior this morning. She remains lying down and motionless unless he prods her to get up. Drinks water but no food yet. We'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous thing, is the point. And these animals can't tell you they're stressed until they are and you see it.
And a reminder that it's cumulative. So once you have an injury, a heat injury, so-called heat injury, dehydration injury, it's easier to get one the second time around.
Haven't had heat stroke before, yeah, I can feel it building up when I'm in a situation that, I feel it building up and I know I got to go find shelter pretty quick or tend to it pretty quick. It's like I said, so, consider leaving your animals in a cool place, and that means in the air conditioning, if at all possible. Let's see, where were we? Prince William turns 36 today. His bald spot turns 18. Today is the longest day of the year, particularly for anyone unfortunate enough to find themselves in a theater showing Gotti all day long. A new study says that men think their meal tastes better when the server is attractive, which finally explains how Hooters is still selling wings.
Yeah, or hamburgers or anything else.
A A survey found that 71% of people say they smile more on vacation. The other 29% vacation with their spouse. Now you can laugh. Today is National Selfie Day. The best way to observe it is to find someone using the selfie stick, grab it from them, and then repeatedly hit them over the head with it. Get a life. Get a life.
Well, the alternative is asking somebody to take a picture of you.
No, I mean, everybody wants to get all those followers so that YouTube will pay them. You know, what is it? You hit 10,000 followers, they start giving you a check or something.
Got me.
Summer officially arrives today, did this morning, but not everyone's happy about it. We can find out right now with the list of the top reasons you do not like summer. The top reasons you do not like summer. My top reason, it's summer. Your kids are at home from school and you hate your kids. Having to wait until September to sleep with your favorite teacher again. Now that can be a real problem. It's a long wait.
Yeah. Didn't used to be a problem apparently, but it's...
Yeah, when I was in, my sophomore class in English, it was the English teacher. And when I was a junior, it was the geometry teacher. Made those summers real long, though.
A friend of mine who is, we'll say significantly older than I am, said that when he was in high school, he had a teacher who was fresh out of college. And she was hot.
Smoking.
But she was not, banging the students.
Well, 99.99% don't.
99.999 don't. That's right.
It's that one little stray, unfortunately, is never my teacher. The things she could teach me. The look on the kids' faces, other reasons, top reasons you don't like summer, the look on the kids' faces when you tell them you're staycationing again. You hate feeling as sweaty as Tom Sizemore looks. You don't know who Tom Sizemore is? I can't help you. Every movie features The Rock, and last but not least, the reason you hate summer, the people wearing the least at the beach are always the people who should be wearing the most. Yeah, you see them walking down the beach and you go, really? You came out in public in that?
They're not wearing less, it's just covered up by their flesh.
Or you think to yourself, 3 billion little swimmers and yours was the fastest.
Terrible.
Yeah, I know. Not everybody can be good looking like you and me, Matt. It's a sad thing.
I was on the short end of the gene pool that way, too.
All right, 8:30, 7:37 past the hour. Yeah, we got a lot of bad guys to go catch today. Let's go get them, what do you say?
You, my pretty, and your little dog, too. What we've got here is failure to mutate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the...
All right, my friends. Time once again to strut across the floor after we take in that big breath of air and let our big hairy chest stick out. Now we'll walk in the style of the Duke, John Wayne. Open up our closet doors, look at our Liberty safes from Carthy Shooting Sports. And today we're going to go to safe number 5. Open her up. We haven't been here in a while. And let Matt reach in and grab our weapon of choice today.
Well, Steve, you like semi-autos more than revolvers. Here's a Ruger LC 380, chambered in .380 ACP. And this gun has a good reputation for being a reliable shooter.
All right, well, we'll throw that into our holster, put it on our badge, grab 5 cans of some super whoop ass as we now head out the door in relentless pursuit of some stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1. As a designated driver, you expect to deal with some drunken, yelling folks, maybe even some drunken puking. This is a whole other level.
Hopefully in his own car.
A group of friends near Minneapolis went out drinking Saturday and headed home around 3 in the morning. We don't know the driver's name, but they were in his Hummer. So we know it was an expensive car. And one of the people that he was dropping off was a 29-year-old woman named Pha Vong.
Sounds Vietnamese.
That or Filipino, anyway. Wait a minute, I pronounced it wrong. It's Pa Ni Ong Bang. That's her name.
Pa Ni Ong Bang.
I just put the accents in the wrong syllables.
Vietnamese or...
But I have a phonetic spelling put here.
I wouldn't put money down on where that came from.
Anyway, when they got to her place, she didn't jump out right away. Instead, she asked the guy... No, not what you think. Or what you're hoping for. She asked him to join her in a life of hell by marrying her. Then after he declined, she slid into the driver's seat and took off. Uh-oh. He must have gotten out to get her out. And, things went south. Another designated driver had followed them to her place. So the guy jumped into that car, and they followed her. For not 1, not 2, but 3 miles before she stopped. At that point, she started yelling at the top of her lungs.
At least she didn't crash, huh?
Huh?
At least she didn't crash.
And he started yelling at her, "Get out! Get out!" And he grabbed a roof rack so she couldn't leave. Which wasn't a great idea because she floored it again.
What is it, the Incredible Hulk? You can't leave, I'm holding the car.
And hit 80 miles an hour while he was still holding on to that roof rack that was going to hold her in place.
You idiot!
He eventually lost his grip and suffered several broken bones.
You think?
His friends in the other car got into a hospital. Then Pania, her name, got arrested when she showed up to visit him the next day. She's facing several charges.
Sorry.
She's facing several charges, including theft of a motor vehicle. You think the guy would drop the charges after she showed some compassion to come see him?
Yeah, no.
Never did get an answer about that marriage proposal. You get some of this when you say yes.
You know, after evaluating everything that happened last night, I've decided I do want to spend the rest of my life with you.
You're talking about the story.
Certainly not you.
Yeah, I just want to clear that up for the audience. All right, stupid criminal news number 2 this morning. What is it with all the women today? This woman definitely knows how to stick to her brand. A 34-year-old woman named Catherine Lutek from Blaine, Minnesota, was driving drunk on Friday when she crashed into a ditch. And when the police got there, they found she was sleeping. She was wearing a T-shirt that said, "Alcohol you later." She was arrested for driving while intoxicated, and it turned out that she's already had 3 DWI convictions. So this time she could be looking up to 14 years in jail.
Good.
Yeah.
You have proven yourself an acute menace to society.
Well, she'll be alcoholing herself to the nearby lawyer's office real soon.
Diddling guards to get booze.
And, well, I guess you can't fight destiny. There's a guy in Council Bluff, Iowa, where else, whose real name is Benjamin Beer. And back in March, about a month before his 21st birthday, he was driving drunk and managed to flip his car. He somehow only wound up with a bloody nose. What's the old saying? The good Lord looks after drunks and babies? Or babies and drunks? But he was arrested, and he just pled guilty to operating while intoxicated. There's no word on what Mr. Beer was drinking that night that he flipped his car, but there'd be some kind of healthy irony if it was liquor. And that, my friends, is your stupid criminal news for this Thursday.
Irony if it was liquor?
Yeah. Your name's Beer. You're up for driving while drunk, but you were drunk off of liquor instead of beer.
Yeah, all right. That's not irony.
Says who? My irony expert said it was.
Oh, well, I withdraw it then.
Yeah. Please do. All right. Everybody's favorite part of the program.
And now it's time for...
Random facts. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okie dokie. A random fact for this Thursday, maybe a spare. More than half of your body is not human. Only about 43% of your cells are human cells. The rest are microscopic organisms living inside you. So when someone says you're possessed, or they're possessed, they're right.
Okay, I guess we'd have to get to definitions there.
So most of the space that you occupy is like foreign matter. Now that definitely...
Are they adding up bacteria and cells and everything and then dividing?
I guess so. That definitely is a Twilight moment there. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Olympia bodybuilding competition has only had 13 different men win in its 52 years. The most famous winner is Arnold Schwarzenegger, who won it 7 times between 1970 and 1980. Scientists now, but he still can't act. Scientists now believe the Black Plague in the 1300s wasn't spread by rats. It was spread by wild gerbils.
Wild gerbils?
Yes.
Who knew? Gerbils are illegal in California.
And why is that?
Because they're pests. They want to keep them out. They don't want a gerbil infestation in the San Joaquin Valley or elsewhere.
There are only 2 countries in the world without mosquitoes. Let me write this down because I might end up there one day. And both are roughly in the same part of the world. One of them is, do you know which ones?
I don't. I'm racking my brain and I wouldn't know where to start.
One of them is Iceland, a socialist country where Bernie Sanders would feel welcome. The other is you catch me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, the Faroe Islands. Is that right?
I don't know.
Faroe, Faroe. The climate is in both is too variable and harsh for mosquitoes.
That's really saying something, too.
Yeah. And the name Kennedy comes from the Gaelic word
drunk liar.
Ugly head.
Okay, well, that makes sense, considering Ted Kennedy.
Since their head's too big for their body. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess that's why they fell down a lot. Anyway, all right, let's work Matt over a little bit. Beat him up. With today's quizzes.
My dukes are up.
First is hole in the headline, where these are real headlines, and he'll tell us what goes in the hole. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Let's see how he does.
That is pretty simple.
After attacking blank, Heather Locklear is hospitalized.
Police.
Her parents. Last original member of the Dow Jones blank to be dropped next week.
A portfolio? Or?
Well, Dow Jones has, the average is made up of 50, I think it's 50 different stocks or whatever, however many. They call it in the basket. And every now and then, when one stock is not really following the parameters of the average stock, they pull it out and they put a different stock in.
So basket was the right word?
Yes. Well, it was my word. But it says here, the last original member of the Dow Jones, which was blank, to be dropped next week.
Which was it GE?
That's it. State of Connecticut named as having most blank in America.
State of Connecticut?
Connecticut.
The most schmucks?
I'll give you credit. Psychopaths. Starting with their legislature.
Every one of them.
New movie blank gets seizure warnings from Disney.
Yeah.
We just went over this yesterday.
Yes, we did. It's the new Incredibles.
Incredibles 2.
Yeah, the new Incredibles movie.
Woman who won blank 7 times going to jail for sneaking into colleagues' emails.
Wheel of Fortune.
Jeopardy. Nigerian man buries father in new blank worth $90,000.
Car.
That was a BMW. I'll give you credit. Over 2,500 women set new blank world record in Ireland.
Mass skinny dipping.
Skinny dipping, yep. Owner of Nevada's infamous blank running for political office.
Bunny Ranch.
That's it. New CDC study says blank are being fed way too much sugar.
Chillins.
And rate of blank in the U.S. are skyrocketing and up 33% in 20 years.
STIs.
What's that?
Sexually transmitted infection.
Suicide.
Those two.
One and the same, huh?
They find out they've got an STD and commit suicide.
That's the slogans off. We have classic and modern editions.
Define classic.
These are the image lines that companies spend a gazillion amount of money trying to get into your head. So you associate the image line with their product.
Sometimes the classic you give me is 10 years old. What's classic here?
For example.
What year?
One of our classics. You've Got Mail.
All right, so we're talking 90s. AOL.
American Online. What's up?
That would be Bud Light.
No.
Bud.
See, all that money spent, it didn't work for you.
Budweiser. Same difference.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
Pringles.
Just for the taste of it.
Diet Coke. It always helps when they put it in a song.
And be more. Oh, let me rephrase this. Be more.
Be more would be Krispy Kreme donuts. Eat more, be more.
I think with our staff of 30 today, we've come up with the right slogan, which is be more.
Be more. Got me.
PBS. Don't you understand my PBS invitation?
No.
What's wrong with you?
PBS. Be more. I guess you'd have to listen to it.
You know, where every show has 30 people working on it? Because it's your money.
Because it's the only radio show where they have to give everybody's name.
Yeah.
Guy delivering the cups is Schmucky Schmucka Schmuck.
All right, here are the modern ones. Let's see if you know them.
I will.
Mr. I Never Watch TV.
I know everything.
Of course,
So you tell me.
In today's TV, you know, they can stuff over 100 commercials per hour and ram them at you like you can retain all that. Yeah, that's a good use of your advertising dollars, not. You're closer than you think.
You're closer than you think. Oh, that's the manufacturer of those little automobile mirrors.
LinkedIn. Let's Booger.
Let's Booger.
Burger.
Oh, Let's Burger. That would be...
Might as well say Booger.
That would be White Castle.
Red Robin.
Red Robin.
Feel Alive.
Feel Alive. The AED manufacturer.
Mazda. America runs on...
America runs on... tip of the tongue.
Well, then get it off the tip and get it in the blank.
Can't think of it.
America runs on Dunkin'.
Dunkin', yeah.
Health. Beautiful Smiles for Life.
Health? Beautiful Smiles for Life?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
All right, I'm going to narrow this down for you just to make it fair.
I find it hard to believe you're going to make this fair.
Fairer.
Oh.
It's a toothpaste.
Well, okay.
That kind of narrows it down to...
Let's take a guess and say Crest.
Well, it is Crest.
Well, I told you that you said I know everything.
Okay, that's that. Now, how much time I got?
Now, if you got all of those, then shame on you for watching so much television.
And lastly, a new survey asked people what keeps them from traveling more. The top answer, too expensive. Followed by, I didn't get enough time off from work. I'm worried about my safety. I'm afraid my bags will get lost. I don't like flying. I'm afraid I'll get sick while I'm traveling. I'm afraid of terrorist attacks. I'm afraid of getting robbed. I don't speak other languages.
You must be traveling overseas.
And number 10, I wouldn't know what to do or where to go. Gee, I think that's called the internet. All right, so it goes for this Thursday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9, for a TSIF Thanksgiving Friday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses here on our airways because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the LeaderMan, and Nick and Colt the dog. We'll all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Steamy Dog Park.
And I'm Nat Horsley. Entertainment CEO Tom Freston. said innovation is taking two things that already exist and putting them together in a new way, like, empty cells and federal prisoners. Chris Plante Show is up next, followed by Rush Limbaugh at noon, Sean Hannity at 3, and Mark Levin at 6. And come back here tomorrow at 7 o'clock for Mornings with the LeaderMan.